One night, Africa was hanging out in the rolling 40s when Nightmare and two Blackstone members crept up, guns blazing. Africa was supposed to die that night, but another Crip wound up being shot in the face.
Oh.
Africa was able to evade the ambush.
Oh.
Allegedly, the opposition didn't want any issues initially, but Africa went into full press mode, sparking off a physical altercation that would spill off into the streets.
Right.
The enemies would flee, but returned shortly after and began shooting at Africa and the Crips. Africa was hit in the chest and he dropped on the concrete.
Damn.
His homie was also shot and he collapsed
I
on
ain't
the
gonna
street.
lie, if you get into a brawl like that and they leave, you gotta get up out of there. You can't stay right there.
Welcome to Hood War Stories.
Uh-oh.
In this episode,
Shout out
I'll be
Hood War
discussing Life in
Story.
Africa. Ezekiel E. Christopher Awumili was born on October 6, 1997. He got the nickname Africa because he was full-blooded Nigerian. He also went by Tiny J Stone. He grew up in a well-to-do family. His father was a businessman and his mother worked as a registered nurse.
Okay.
Although his roots was from Africa, his assimilation into Black American society was seamless, and he was fully embraced by the culture. Despite being raised in a strong two-parent household, Africa became more influenced by his environment when he was outside of the home, emulating the Black American kids he went to school with, instead of the straight and narrow path pushed by his parents. Africa chose the street life instead. He would get put on and join the 8-9 East Coast Crips, an active and highly reputable East Coast set located in the Florence Firestone District. Up until the mid-2000s, they would be seen deep out at Washington Park. And after the 6-pack and 11-8 East Coast Crips, they're arguably one of the most combative East Coast sets. Unlike the 5-9s and 7-6s, the 8-9s lost zero turf during their historic war with Florencia 13, and actually killed off Florencia's Easy Boys clique. Although Africa was technically from 8-9, he was often mistaken as a member of the 190 East Coast Crips, considering he stayed and went to school in the Delamo area. It could be argued he'd hang out and function with the 190s more than is put on set. The 190's turf is a sharp contrast from the 8-9's hood in the Florence
crazy
Firestone
how
District,
deep this shit get,
located in a middle-class section of Carson. The 190's hood consists of large 2-story homes, manicured lawns, backyard swimming pools, and expensive cars in the driveway.
When y'all start gangbanging in nice, good neighborhoods, when does that start happening? I want to put y'all on to some of the easiest money you'll ever make in your life. Freecash.com is a website that allows you to literally get paid hundreds of dollars just for playing video games on your phone. All you need is an email and a password. Follow the directions on each of the campaigns and you can earn at least $100. My personal favorite game to play was Sunrise Island, and when I clicked on it, they had a $370 bonus. I got $370 just for playing a video game on my phone. On average, it only takes about 17 minutes for most people to start earning money on freecash.com. So if you need some free, easy, extra money, go to freecash.com, click the QR code right here, or go in the description below and start getting that bag. You did? Is this some California shit? Is I'm just late? I just ain't never heard, never seen it. Is this some California type of stuff or something? How y'all gang banging in nice, good neighborhoods where people got money? Usually people...
Out-of-towners would rarely think that this is a gang-infested neighborhood.
Right.
As a member, Africa was fully activated. He went out and gangbanged like he had something to prove, and constantly running phase at school. Africa was known for having hands. He upped his skills by training at a boxing gym in Lakewood. Africa was known for going around and taking flight.
That nigga went to a boxing gym so he could whoop so he could win more school fights. He funny as hell. Smart thinking, bro. Smart thing. At least you had a little bit of knowledge, dude.
Terrorizing anything in his way. The fighting involved the shooting.
Ain't nothing. What'd he say?
Taking flight on people. Terrorizing anything in his way.
Ain't nothing wrong with a blicking as long as the right people.
The fighting involved the shooting.
Damn.
He'd make visits to the gun range to perfect his aim. And after a couple test run missions, Africa began to up his rank. By 2016, his name rang bells, and he stayed in the field with the gun. He had a particular disdain for Florencia 13 and Grape Street. He was mobile and tight with the 5-5 neighborhood Crips. It's alleged he got into a shootout with the 5 Deuce Hoovers while he was hanging out on the west side. After this incident, he would take to social media to diss them every chance he got. Throughout this period, Africa would constantly bump heads with his father, who didn't approve of his lifestyle.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Father don't like it.
Happy Thanksgiving, Pop.
Get your thug gangbanging ass out my face.
Outside of gangbanging, Africa was gifted athletically and shown his abilities on the football field.
Hey, bastard. He got it.
Unfortunately, he would let his gang life take over,
Yeah.
so his football potential would never be reached.
You don't want to play
In the
football.
gang
You
world,
want to
his name
gang
spread
bang.
throughout the city, and other top ranks took notice. One being Infant Nightmare from BPS, one of the top young gunners from that era. Even though East Coast and BPS are on opposite ends of the spectrum, they do not get along in the least bit, and there's a few murders between the two of them. So when Nightmare saw his opportunity to kill Africa, he took it.
Oh,
One night, Africa was hanging out.
he looked familiar to me. But when he saw his opportunity to get Africa up out of there, he took
So
it.
when Nightmare saw his opportunity to kill Africa, he bit. Even though East Coast and BPS are on opposite ends of the spectrum, they do not get along in the least bit.
Right.
And there's a few murders between the two of them.
Okay.
So when Nightmare saw his opportunity to kill Africa,
There was some
he took it.
bloodshed.
One night, Africa was hanging out in the rolling 40s when Nightmare and two Blackstone members crept up, guns blazing. Africa was supposed to die that night, but another Crip wound up being shot in the face.
Oh.
Africa was able to evade the ambush.
Oh.
East Coast held Africa
So
in
the
high
smoke
regard.
was for Africa, but he managed to get up out of there. I ain't gonna lie, it be crazy. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, beef be going on, but like California, it just be so different. Like, it just be gang banging. Everybody gang banging. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't even in the streets. You gang banging. Like, this California, like, real gang banging. Like, you feel me? Like, they on some whole other level type shit, folks. Like,
because he was always down to put in work. In 2016, this was at the back end of the East Coast Florencia War, and there were still bodies being dropped. One night, Africa was on a solo mission driving around Florence, looking for an F-13 to knock down. He drove past Holmes Avenue and parked up on B Street. Africa allegedly got out, spotted his target, and opened fire from about 20 yards away. The Florencia members immediately started shooting back, nearly killing Africa in their turf, causing him to retreat. Africa returned back to his set and reported back on his failed mission. He allegedly would end up dropping the F-13 member on a later date. Grape Shoe was next
so
up
he
on
ended
the
up
shit
catching
list.
he ended up catching a body on a later date from that hood.
The Grape Street Crips are a notorious black gang concentrated in the Jordan projects. No other gang has done the damage that East Coast did to Grape Street when their war popped off. East Coast went on full blitz mode.
So they
In
hate
2017, the height of the war was over, but ill feelings were still there. Africa was a full enforcer on the Grape hate train, packing out members. Affiliates were getting the smoke too. One time, Africa threw a female out of his car and took her phone from playing 03 Greedo. Africa was getting active and banging on anything that wasn't in line with the coast. He allegedly ran up on Frosty the Snowman, and the issue was pressed.
On East Coast Crip, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it in the California accent that I've been practicing for y'all. This is what he said. On East Coast Crip, I just ran into that bitch ass nigga Frosty and cuz started running. I called cuz a girl, cuz. Yeah, I do. It was a decent. That's how they talk in Cali, bro. Frosty not from nowhere.
All of that pressure Africa was applying would ultimately lead to his demise. On the night of May 20th,
They want his blood
2017,
now.
Africa was contemplating on going out to a Jersey party that was being held in Carson.
Jersey party.
After
What
being
hell
on
is
the
that?
fence about it, he decided to go. At the party, Africa was deep with the Crips.
Why do street niggas like to like update us on their life? Like, shouldn't we be keeping this on the low key? Finna head out, but I'd rather be laid up. That just give your ops information. Like, okay, he finna be outside. Where you think he finna be at? And them niggas posted, them ops posted a little party or something. He might pull up there, see who pulling up there, see who got something on their story, go on a fake page. Is you see him? Yeah, I think that's him right here. He at the party. Say you swear to God. I swear to God. Hey, let's ride out, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, you in the streets, gang. You can't be giving people no damn play-by-plays on your
That's
life,
about
man.
it. He decided to go. At the party, Africa was deep with the Crips. And allegedly the opposition arrives. Allegedly the opposition didn't want any issues initially. But Africa went into full press mode, sparking off a physical altercation that would spill off into the streets.
Right.
The enemies would flee, but returned shortly after and began shooting at Africa and the Crips. Africa was hit in the chest and he dropped on the concrete.
Damn.
His homie was also shot and he collapsed
I
on
ain't
the
gonna
street.
lie. If you get into a brawl like that and they leave, you gotta get up out of there. You can't stay right there, folks. You cannot stay right there. You don't never know what they leaving to do. They could be leaving they come back with 3 more cars full of niggas and 17 ARPs. Then what you gonna do? No, sir. I'm sorry. It's time to go. You feel?
Africa was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead at 1:30 a.m. Initially in the report, the gunman was described as a black male in his early 20s. Rumors spread that either Nightmare or another member from BPS killed Africa, but it was confirmed that Nightmare wasn't even there that night. He tried to kill Africa on a different occasion. Sources close to Africa have said that it was allegedly Florencia 13 behind the murder. If you check Africa's Twitter X account, you can see his tweets describing the altercation at the party, sent
Yo, bro, ain't alive, and he was just
out just moments before his death.
damn.
Tweeting to
I smacked cuz so hard he fell on it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't be doing this. You can't be in the streets gangbanging hard as hell, and then you giving us a play-by-play everything you just did. So you just got done full out brawl, and you first thing you did was pull your phone out. Let me go on Twitter, kid. Let me go on Twitter quick right now, kid. I smacked cuz so hard he fell on the hood of the roof of the car, rolled over and started running down the block, kid. That's crazy that was his last tweet. Yeah, you supposed to be getting up out of there, man. You can't be, you know?
he smacked the opposition so hard he fell in the hood of
Because
a
he
car.
probably did. He probably did whoop them. That's why they came back with guns, because they couldn't fight.
Rolled off and began running down the block. He then
Not
confirmed that there
even.
were
They was
Florencia
some
13
flower
members.
ass niggas. I'm running my program. They was running. It was too many Crips. And yeah, no flower zone.
Africa's family was very distraught over his murder.
Damn.
And apparently his mother would not allow any of his homies at the funeral. His body would end up being sent to Africa to be buried. Africa was well known in the city for his charisma and personality. He was described as very comedic and a ladies' man. And East Coast is still honoring his
Hanging
memory.
out with white people?
Yeah, baby, I got that fresh haircut and all of that. You see me?
But is these like people that's gang banging? See, this one I don't understand about the good neighborhoods. Like, why are you gang banging? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a good neighborhood. Most of y'all got two parents. Most of y'all got a nice car. Most of y'all go to a pretty high school. It's like, why are y'all gang banging? Most people gang bang because they damn near got to. Because they from this hood and they went to school for 3 days, and 3 days straight the Bloods caught them, and they know where they grew up at, so they beat the hell out of them 316 times. And so they like, well, now I'm finna be a Crip now. Fuck it. So now you fighting at school, then you get into it with this, and then beef get built up, and then you turn about 18, 19, and you a hardcore gangbanger because, you know what I'm saying, you had to just because where you was from, you know what I'm saying, or you was poor as hell. Y'all ain't had no money. Your mama couldn't pay the rent. Your mama strung out on drugs. Daddy ain't there. Y'all ain't got no car, no money, no nothing. So you had to go outside and rob, steal, kill, drill, whatever to get you some money. And then you just end up into that life. Usually that's what makes sense. But when you got a nice car in the driveway and you in a big ass 2-story house and you got your mom and your dad downstairs, what reason do you have to gangbang? That's why I be asking, like, is y'all just trying to fit in? Is y'all just trying to be cool? Like, is y'all just trying to do what look cool to you when you go on the music videos? Or like, y'all kind of get what I'm saying though? I don't know, man.
Yeah, baby, I got that fresh haircut and all of that. You see me? Neighborhood to the.
I'd like to thank you guys for watching.
But I don't
Please
know.
like,
Y'all tell
comment,
me. I don't
and
know about
subscribe.
Cali. I damn sure don't know about Cali. Y'all tell me. For I'm just asking questions. These just my thoughts. Y'all be taking what I be saying a little too serious for. It's a fucking reaction. You feel me? So I'm gonna see something. Whatever come to my mind first, I'ma say it. It might not be true. It might not be real. It might not be how I really feel. It's just a thought. It's my initial reaction. The first thing that popped on my head. The first thing I thought, I just said out loud. That's it. Y'all be taking this shit a little too serious, man. Relax. Calm down. I know y'all want to be outraged and have a problem with something, but relax, man. It's just a reaction. Chill the fuck out.